You know, that's how it
There's always
works.
a fair somewhere.
Yeah.
But we have the every weekend we have the artisan fair, which is the
Oh
same
yeah.
15 pop-ups.
Yeah, this is the artist's fair. It's still the same old crap, and then a few booths of people that actually make stuff thrown in.
Huh, huh. I love a good fair. They're
Let
always
me move
fun.
my pipes here.
Okay,
Mwah, mwah,
got it.
mwah. All right,
Red baby bubby
what
leather, red baby bubby.
red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. Mwah, mwah. Okay, what are we sharing this week?
It is the trend of large groups of young people gathering at a spot to just wreak havoc for no reason is continuing.
Mm.
So last weekend we had, 60 or so. Friday night there was probably 150 or so. Last night there was probably 150 or so. I'm trying to think, like, when we were younger, like, first of all, we didn't have the ability to get in touch with 300 people at one given time and say, hey, let's meet here, right? Like, you could meet, it was like five, like, whoever's in shouting distance of your neighborhood. So, like, we just didn't have the option to do that.
Well,
But, like,
you could plan something, but by the time the plan came to
yeah,
fruition, it was shut down because everybody knew
because
about it.
you took too long. Yeah. Like this is instant. It's like, okay, it's 5:45. Okay, it's 6:15 meet here and 400 people show up and so you can't catch it. But like these are probably eighth and ninth graders. Like they're young, right? Like so they don't have anybody that drives a car and they're not like they're definitely young. They're
Yeah,
not
how are they getting
upper
there?
high school. Well, most
They're
of them
not
probably
hopping on
live
the
pretty
bus.
close, or they're saying they're at a friend's house, and then, or it's maybe it's a mile they're walking, but like, or oh, so and so's having a birthday party at the beach, drop us all off, and then the parents drop it. Like they're not doing
Right.
their like the grilling that I would put my children. Well, who's going to be there? How are you getting there? Who's getting home? Like that kind of stuff that to then like and sure, maybe these same parents are asking all these same questions, but then like if you are dialed into your own neighborhood and you're paying attention, these things are happening like immediately. I'm like, it gather, have a good time, do it. But then they all get into a big circle and then people fight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not good old days where you had a fight, there were a few punches thrown, somebody was declared the winner, and we all went home. This is like two people start fighting, and then it's 5-on-1, and then it's there's no
Yeah.
there's no dignity in it anymore.
No
There's no respect.
dignity.
It's not a mutual combat.
It's
It's a
not a good,
gang
clean
fight.
fight.
No, let's get back to the good. Let me meet you out in the alley at 3 o'clock, Buster. Let's get back to that stuff.
Chump.
Chud.
Well,
Yeah, so I just it's not even summer yet. This is I feel
mm-hmm.
like the trend that's gonna. Oh, and
Oh
then the
boy.
poor little 13-year-old who at 9:45 on a Thursday night is riding his e-motorcycle, who apparently hit the median, went flying, and is now dead. Like,
Oh,
what?
Jesus.
I have questions, right? Like, why are you out at 9:45 on a Thursday, and why are you riding an e-motorcycle that late at night without all the proper
Yeah,
things?
lights
And like,
and
how that? Yeah,
safety
lights and helmet,
equipment.
all that. Yeah, but like that's just it's just going to keep happening. There's going to be more of them, sadly, because they don't have a respect for the concrete and gravity. they just there's an entitlement that they feel that the gravity doesn't the concrete doesn't care about, that
Yeah.
they don't think enough of them have learned that yet.
Yeah.
And well, it's gonna be a long summer, people.
Or you can just go take a walk on a runway, see what happens.
Oh yeah, Jesus Christ, right? Or get on a cruise ship and get the hantavirus.
Oh
What
my
did they ever
gosh.
figure out? Was he trying to kill himself?
I don't know. I don't know.
He hopped the fence was the only thing I heard.
Yeah. I mean, you have to, it's deliberate to get out there. So it's not like I took a wrong
Yeah,
turn and, was taking a walk. So,
yeah.
yeah.
But I didn't
Um,
realize that if you happen to be walking too close, it sucks you in.
hmm Oh, yeah.
Learn
Well, like
something
it
new.
happens to
Yeah, I didn't know
birds,
that. Yeah.
birds flying in the
Well, I
air
mean, a
and, yep.
bird is 4
I
pounds,
know,
but a
but
human
still,
is.
still.
I mean, and hey, was an education moment
It
for us all.
was. I came across a fun little account on the Insta called
Ah,
Great Advice for Shitty People. And
sounds delightful.
these just made me laugh. Like, include pointless info on eBay listings. So you're selling like a dresser, you could include from a gluten-free home.
Okay.
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Say my condolences when someone shows you a picture of their new partner. Write, congrats on your loss. Gift a huge amount of hygiene products to someone. Ask people why they've added you to their close friends list. Smell your clothes after hugging someone. Have a VIP section at your house party. Oh, no, you can't go
Ooh,
in
I
there.
like
That's
that
the
one.
VIP section.
It's the P.
When
You gotta be on the list.
when someone shows you their new clothes, ask, can you return it? Tell people your criticism is destructive and that they should take it personally. And
This
say,
is like this is meant to offend and be personable, but
here it comes.
yes, here it comes.
Say, no, that's okay when someone asks for help. Want to help with the dishes? No, that's okay.
No,
when you
I
put it
don't.
in the form of a question, I don't want to help you. No, thanks. So those pop up from time to time and they just make me laugh.
That's funny.
So, you need a
They're
giggle.
giggleable. Yeah, that's a good
Advice
giggle.
for shitty people.
Yeah.
Okay, so today, since we're getting into prom season, we're getting into
Yeah.
graduation season, we did both, so we're going to talk about both. And so, I have to start out with a little history lesson for us
Always.
about the prom. So prom is short for promenade, which means to
It is, but
like walk or parade.
yes.
So I don't know if originally you like paraded your date into the dance and that's why they called it a prom. I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Right, you paraded
You
in and
paraded
stopped
in.
for the
Yeah.
traditional prom photo.
The step and repeat. So it's similar. It started out similar to like a debutante ball.
Yep.
It was traditionally the first social event for teens. It evolved from a simple tea dance to the full-blown banquet action that we see today. Now, we have to do a little sidebar on what a tea dance is because this was news to me. So a tea dance traditionally was a social gathering held like at tea time, late afternoon, early evening. You had light refreshments, you got dressed up, you socialized, met people, whatever. However, in the 1950s and 60s, gay people were still not allowed in most bars. So tea dances kind of became a safe space for them to socialize where they were left alone as opposed to trying to go to bars in the evening. And, there were gay bars, mainly underground type of situations that weren't always like a safe place. So it kind of evolved into a gay hangout was tea dances, something I did not know. So like I said, it kind of morphed into the fancy thing that it is now. And it was mainly like young adult college ages, and it kind of slowly trickled its way down to the high school scene.
Okay.
It was also a less scrutinized time of the day. So it was less formal than going out to like a fancy dress ball thing in the evening. It was daytime. It was a little less formal. Like I said, more of a less scrutinized, safer place to socialize. So that's what tea dances were. So then now we have, it's kind of the social event of the season at the end of the year for seniors.
Yep.
I know we had a junior and a senior prom.
Yep.
And then was it our class or the class before us or the class after us. I think they combined it. So they stopped doing separate
I think it
junior,
was after us because I
senior
think we had
proms.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't um, it was never like an open to everyone type of thing.
No.
You had to have a date.
Yes. And the date had to be a member of the opposite sex.
Yep, it had to
Yeah.
be like you could go as friends, but it had to be a couple.
Yes.
And
You and I could not have gone as friends, but
right. So, if you were bringing someone who was not a student at that school,
oh yeah.
you had
Yeah.
to get special permission. There was a form. It was a
Yep.
whole thing.
Yeah.
And
That's still true today.
yeah, they kept track of who was coming. So I understand that more now as an adult, because I can imagine the nightmare it is as a administration to try and do something that is, number one, off the school property, where you have to kind of keep control of high schoolers, teenagers that just can't wait to just break free and go nuts. So I understand the whole, we've got to keep track of who's there. Your name was on a list. It was a whole big thing.
Well, there's probably some like there. You also probably want to make sure that it's not like somebody who has maybe some felony convictions on the record or is
yeah, exactly.
right, like there may be known drug trafficker or sex like you just want to make sure they're children. Yep. So I mean, granted, some of them might be 18 or 19, but you want to at least do your due diligence to ensure that at least that there's some safety measures in place.
Exactly. Now, at the time, it seemed like such a big deal.
However, such a big deal.
Looking back, it's not. And if I had it to do over again, I would completely skip it.
Yeah.
I would have completely skipped it.
If we had the option like they do now to go to go as just a group of friends, I would be much more inclined and excited. But the whole finding the date process and I was a big dork. There wasn't like a special guy that I had. And it was like, well, and it's like there were a couple of people that I was, friends with that I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll go with that person. But then they were going with it was just a group of guys and girls who seemed to match up one and two. Like he didn't even have, half of them didn't even stay together once they got it. Was just in order to get through the door, which is ridiculous. Like, can't I just go?
Yeah. Well,
just let it just it doesn't. So now and now it's much more that way, which is much more fun.
Nice. Because then you don't feel pressured. Well, I can't go if I don't have a date, and I want to go, but I don't want to go with someone that thinks I like them. But I got dumped by my high school boyfriend in the preceding. I was about a month or two before prom, which is usually right around the end of the school year. So
May, June-ish.
It was kind of like, well, now what do I do? So I, had a couple options that kind of fell through, and kind of in the final 11th hour, this is so episode of Friends. My brother stepped in with one of his college friends, and his friend went with me, and he actually ended up taking one of our other friends. So, it worked out. But it was just such an ordeal at the time.
Such an ordeal.
The emotion and the, it's like
buying of the dress and the doing of the hair and the nails and the shoes and the
whole thing. It was a whole thing. And now it's kind of like I'm seeing pictures online and relatives, kids, and it's like, oh, well, they look like they're going to have fun. So,
and I went through it with both of my kids. But, they, again, were lucky enough where it was just a large group of guys and a large
Mm-hmm.
group of girls that happened. And if there were more girls than boys, it didn't matter. And there was always somebody, they all pitched in. There was a party bus or a limo or
Yeah.
something, and they all some of them went out to dinner before, but some of them were just like, let's just meet at so and so's house. We'll do pictures and get some pizzas, and so they
Right.
they found kind of ways to make it more fun. I loved the trend, and I'm not sure when it started, but the trend of wearing tennis shoes with your dress, like you always had to be a brand new set, but like, wow, that is like
Mm-hmm.
that's brilliant. Like, who wants to wear uncomfortable shoes for? And of course, they're
So,
always going to be new, and they're always not.
right.
But the trend of wearing tennis shoes, I love that. I think that is, I could lean hard into that one.
So our prom attire was pretty traditional, I would say. Like,
Yeah,
we all kind of looked like bridesmaids.
very a
And
little poofy.
I remember we were visiting Tom's cousin, and she was showing us pictures. The kids had just gone to prom, and she was showing us pictures, and she's like, "Look at this girl. She's built like a brick shithouse." This girl had on this sequined, skin tight, like it
Yeah,
could have been a tube top that just got pulled down.
yeah,
Yeah, I was just kind of like, "Oh my God, is that what they're
yes.
wearing to the prom now?" We
Skin
had
tight and
the,
super short was popular for my daughter's
yep,
age group.
we had
Yeah,
the full, Back to the
we had poof.
Future poofy 50s
Yeah,
dresses.
yeah.
So speaking of the pre-prom send-off, those are known now as champagne parties,
Oh,
where you
Jesus
get a group
Christ.
together, usually the parents of, a
I
group
think
of
it's,
friends, kids say, let's get together at our house. We'll have a little champagne, have a
yeah,
little party, take the pictures before the kids go off to the
yes.
prom. Yeah.
The champagne party. So we're calling it something contributing delinquent to the delinquency of a minor. We're gonna just put it right there in the title.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep. Have a glass of
yep,
champagne
yeah.
before your
There was
prom.
a I would say, I'm trying to think. I think it was in my son's kind of age group. There was a very, very large trend of parties happening where parents were like large, right? 100 some odd people in neighborhoods, and parents were supplying all of the
Mm-hmm.
alcohol for everybody. And it was probably getting a little out of control. And so the police instituted and created a city ordinance with a fairly large fine that came with it. Um, yeah, I mean, other than you could get arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor, that it's going to be, I'm not sure that the DA is going to want to go through with that if it's at a house party kind of thing. So they found a different way, and they made a new code, and they started fining families, money.
There was somebody, God, was it I'm not going to name names, but there was somebody in our class
Yeah, let's not. Yeah, that was, yes,
that had
yes,
a
it
drinking
was,
party
and
with
yes,
a,
it was.
they hired a full bar
Yes,
with a bartender.
yes, yes,
Coke.
and I think there were multiple, like, because the parents were all
Yeah,
friends too. They were
they
all
were all
there. Yeah,
there, and they
I
were
think
like,
that
look
was
it,
like
you know
my
what?
yeah.
Nobody's driving,
I recall a
we'll
lot of kamikaze. I think they
hmm
had a couple of limos
they
there
had
to
limos,
take
they had
people that if they didn't,
cabs. They
yeah,
did it
if
right, that's for sure. But
they did it as safe as possible.
so now you mentioned that we could not have same-sex couples at the prom.
Yes,
And now there's
yes,
been a little bit of controversy over the
yes.
years
I'm sure.
related to this exact thing. Basically, some gender conformity
Mm,
situations where, hey,
they
I'm
just
gay. I want to bring my gay boyfriend to the prom
yeah,
with me. Hey, I'm a lesbian.
mhm,
I want to bring my lesbian girlfriend, and
yeah,
I want to wear a tuxedo. And
yeah,
it resulted in, lawsuits and things
hmm,
like of that nature.
yeah.
There was actually one gentleman who he was invited to go to his girlfriend's prom. She went to a different school. His
Mhm.
school did not allow dancing. And they told him, if you go to this prom at this other school and dance, you're suspended. And he said, well,
How
I'm going
footloose is
anyway.
that?
It was very footloose. There was another situation where a girl had some kind of disorder or condition where she wasn't allowed to go to the prom. because her grades weren't good enough. And she said, well, it's because
Yeah.
of my condition that I can't get the grades to go to the prom. So she ended up suing the school to go to the prom.
Jeez.
Um,
I mean, let's be honest.
Prom
That you gonna
controversy.
look back. You're gonna back on that in years and go, "That was a waste of lawyer
Yeah,
resources. I
Dad
should
was a
not have
lawyer.
sued.
Great.
I should not have sued to go do that because, oh boy, that is
Now there's also a trend with adult proms or
oh for
adult
Lord
parties with a
God's
prom
sakes.
theme. Now, if you didn't go to the prom, I'm telling you right now, you didn't really miss much.
You didn't miss
You
much.
didn't miss much. So I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. I think like Drew Barrymore did it on her
Oh
show,
God.
and then that kind of sparked a whole let's have a prom theme. I know when
Okay.
Tom was working for the ski area, and he was the guy that takes your souvenir picture when you get off the lift at the top of the hill, and he'd get people to come over, and he'd say it'd be a group of guys, and they'd just be standing
Right.
there, and he's like, okay,
Prom
prom
pose.
pose, and they'd all do the prom pose. I did the prom pose with the VP of our company one year at the awards dinner. He loved it. He loved it. I said, can we do a prom pose? And he
It's
just looked
fun.
at me like, what?
Sure.
I said, can we do a prom pose? And the little
Prom
handler
pose.
guy that keeps everybody moving is
Yeah.
like, what is she doing? What is she doing? And I'm like, he's like, I didn't go to my prom. And I'm like, you with that hair, you didn't go to your prom? And I'm like, all right, now put your
Prom
hand here, put
pose.
this hand there. Now
Appropriate. Yeah.
smile like we're going to make out right after this is over. He just starts laughing and he's like, all right, that was fun.
The prom pose is very reminiscent of the new trend of recreating your childhood family photos at JCPenney's. So
No,
it's
we're
very,
going to have to
yeah.
do that when we all
Yeah.
get together.
It'll be
We're going to have
yeah.
to schedule a session.
Yeah, it'd be funny.
It would be
Yeah,
funny.
yeah, I mean, there's also there's a now this actually sounds like fun, but there's it's a some sort of marketing group that across like in major cities across the US does this out by 10 or early whatever some sort of event where they promote it at really big nightclubs where you're in at 7 and you're out by 10. So like it's designed for people who are older who don't want to stay out till midnight but want to go and have fun, but they can't because the DJ doesn't start till 10. So
Right.
this is dedicated and focused on this whole group. And I'm like, well, that actually looks like it'd be kind of fun. Like,
Yeah, that's our speed, basically.
yeah, I'm right there.
Yeah, I'm
in
right
by
there.
6, out by 10.
Right
Let's
there.
do it.
Yep,
Do
exactly.
it.
Exactly. No, that's a good one. So I made a list of some of our favorite movies that were prom
Yeah,
related
prom
or
themed
had
movies.
famous
Yeah,
prom scenes.
scene. Yeah,
Number one being the original Carrie. I know there's been a
yeah.
few remakes over the
Love that.
years. Grease is another one.
Yes. Oh God. Oh
Valley
yeah,
Girl.
yeah,
We mentioned it already. Footloose.
yeah. By the way, Valley Girl, probably one of the best soundtracks ever.
Yes,
Love that
absolutely.
soundtrack. So good.
Back to the Future, which we mentioned.
Yep.
Pretty in Pink. And I Will Die on
Yeah.
This Hill. About how
Yes, the
ugly that
dress.
dress was.
Ugh.
Huge
Ugh.
disappointment. American Pie was another one.
That was such a funny movie.
And I'm sure there's plenty other ones. Like every TV series has done a prom episode. I mentioned Friends. That was a pretty classic prom thing. But
I love when they did the flashbacks. They were all so funny. It's just hilarious.
Rachel and her big nose, and yeah, those were good. Those were some of the best episodes. That's pretty much all I got about prom.
Yeah, I just kind of did a little like what were the like trends, and so obviously the 70s trends was very like disco or like bohemian, flowy 70s vibe. Ours, the
You
great
gotta
80s
love
was very
those
poofy.
70s tuxedos, the
Yeah.
pastel colors,
Oh
the big
God, yeah, with the
ruffles, the
ruffles.
giant bow
Yeah.
ties.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like I said, my daughter's, hers was short and tight. I think this year's is long and tight with a very high slip and like extra long trains. I've seen a lot of the dresses online. That seems to be the trend this year. Again, I do like the fact that we can wear tennis shoes. Now, I don't know when this happened, It was definitely around. I know it was starting to be a big deal when my daughter was in high school, but the promposal,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just I just look at all these things and it's just like I see a lot of chores. I see a lot of errands.
Yep.
I see a lot of time. And for
And
those who enjoy it, I fully support your decision to do that. But also, man,
you got to
I
outdo
guess I'm just
the next
lazy.
person. And
You got to.
that was a total
Yeah.
social
I don't.
media thing, the promposal.
Oh, for
And the
sure.
first time I saw it, I thought it was cute, you know. But now it's just kind of like, I mean, are they even still doing it?
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah. Or
I'm
is
out
there
of the
something
prom
else
scene
now?
because my kids are out of high school. I don't know. I don't know anybody
Yeah.
in high school anymore. I'm sure there's some fashion of it or sorts. I see a lot of the signs that are like a cute saying that has something
Mm-hmm.
to do with something. Yeah, whatever. How
Right.
about, hey, you want to go? Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
let's go. Uh-huh.
Um, there was
I was trying to remember who our
there's so
prom
many
king and
movies.
queen were. I couldn't remember.
Ugh.
And it's not in the yearbook because the timing of the yearbook, it
Yeah.
had to be finished before the prom
Yeah.
happened. So,
Um,
yeah, I don't even remember who
I don't
our.
remember. Now, I will end our prom discussion on this fun little story about my prom date. So, the person I went the no names will be mentioned to protect the innocent. The person I went to prom with was somebody I went on a few dates with when I was a junior and he was a senior. And as a year goes by and I'm a senior and he's in junior college, and I was like, oh, who am I going to go with? Trying to figure it out. And randomly ran into him wherever we were. I don't know. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just ask him. Like, but whatever. Like, he's fine. Like, he'll look okay in the picture. And like, we still get along. And
Yeah.
yeah. And and I think he was much more excited about it than I was. So we went. And when we got the prom pictures back, he didn't go to the school I went to anymore because he had graduated. So we were going to stop by his house, you and I, and show him the pictures and give him his 10 that he wanted so his mom could put the 8x10 in probably the living room or something. And when we showed up to the house, he was sunbathing in the backyard in a thong. I'm sure to decrease the amount of lines. I don't know if maybe he shaved his chest or he nared it or something, but there was that, and
It's very
I just
tan.
was
I
like,
think he was
he
just
was
trying to
very tan.
get rid of the,
He,
the trunk
it
tan
is
line.
for
Just
sure.
trying to get
Let's
himself a
like
nice
tan.
even leg.
That's great. This is just not what I expected. Like his mom was like, "Oh yeah, he's in the backyard. Go on in," and it was just like it was not what I expected to see, and it was a little bit uncomfortable. And I was like pretending to pull the pictures out of
You
the
turned around
envelope
and faced me. You're like, "Oh, can you get that picture
what do I get?
in the cardboard frame?"
Like,
And he stood up immediately and wrapped his towel around him and was like, "Oh, hey,
immediately,
girls, how you doing?" Blah blah blah.
yeah,
And I mean, I
yeah.
think he was a little embarrassed, but
But I think,
but I mean,
yes,
whatever.
at the time, it was like it was not cool to
To wear a Speedo.
be in a thong. Yeah, it was just it was
Thong.
not, and like to have limited tans lines as a teenage male was not a thing.
Yeah.
Back when we so I
He wasn't a
anyways,
bad-looking guy.
he's
Yeah,
fine.
and he was always like
just a
always
little
had a good tan.
narcissistic. Yeah.
So I got to tell you something. I watch a lot of those British shows, and you
Yep.
know what they call Speedos? Budgie smugglers.
Okay.
I just
Not to
think
be
that's the
confused
best
with
name.
a banana hammock.
Yep,
Yeah.
that too. But that just
Budgie
cracks
smugglers.
me up. Budgie
Okay.
smugglers.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish everybody well on their collective
Mm-hmm.
prom seasons.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's cute here because we see the kids down at the courthouse on the steps taking pictures, and
Okay.
we see a lot of weddings, a lot of well, it's a courthouse, so a lot of weddings,
Yeah.
a lot of quinceañeras, and a lot
Okay.
of like proms and graduations, and it's really cute. You know, it's a nice place to do it, and whenever I see it walking by, it's kind of like, oh, you know, I mean, I do have good
Good old days when
memories
life was simple.
of that time, but if I had to do it over, nah, not a big deal.
Also, anybody with teenagers listening, I mean, I get that you feel like it's the biggest thing in your moment at the time, but it is not. Don't stress over it, man. Just have a good
Yeah.
time, enjoy. Who
Yep,
cares what you look
exactly.
like?
All right, let's move on to graduations.
Yeah,
Since it's graduation season.
It is.
And I gotta say, right off the bat, and I think the internet backs me up on this, graduations are really, really, really a struggle. Awful. Boring. Why? Why is it an all-day thing? It's all damn day. And what can we do to make them more fun?
So I will say, shout out to local high schools here. They are pretty good about keeping it to like an hour and 20 tops. Like you write your speech ahead of time. You got to get it approved. It's got to be a certain length. There's not a whole lot of guest speakers ramming about, and they rifle through the names, and they got stages, and they got pictures. Like they've got it pretty dialed in, and they're good at keeping it. Now, the trend that I am seeing, and I just want to say this to everybody, I get that it's very important for you to be at your child's graduation to watch it. You don't have to bring the whole family. The whole family doesn't want to sit and watch it. It's not exciting. Go have the party, invite everybody to the party, but the jockeying for graduation tickets because there's only so many people that can go, because it's a venue that can only fit so many people, and you just the more people you hit, there's no parking, and then it's okay. They oftentimes they will stream it live. You can watch it there because you can't get the tickets, and not everybody has to go, especially if you have young kids.
Right.
Send them to somebody else's house. Leave
That's
them at
torture.
home. They don't want to be there. They don't want to.
That's worse than going grocery shopping with your mom as a 4-year-old.
Awful.
It's awful.
It's okay.
It's
I get
awful.
you're proud. I get everybody wants to see it. Also understand that it's okay if not everybody can go.
When you get to the college level is even worse.
Oh.
It's all day. And I understand that it's a big deal because,
you're the
this may be the first person in the family to graduate from college, or you don't have a lot of, college graduates in the family. It's a big deal. I get that. However, bringing in a celebrity guest speaker isn't the answer. That just, makes more people want to come. And, another speech where they're just saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. Same thing.
But Daniel Tosh's stand-up comedy on graduation speeches is hilarious, if anybody cares to listen.
He's pretty funny.
He's all, statistically, 2 of you will die tonight.
So that when I was looking that up, I saw something called a commencement gap. And it's basically students that are like, I'm not going. Why do I need to go? I don't want to go. To sit there.
So we all know how my daughter hates the heat. Let me describe what her graduation would have been had she chosen to go. She has to get there at 7 a.m.
This is for high school?
Check in. No, this is for college.
College, okay.
She has to get to Anaheim Stadium, where the Angels play baseball. That's how big. This is how large the thing is. So you have to get there at 7 a.m. to get in line to get with your group. That starts at 9 a.m. So for 2 hours ahead. Now, you probably could have rolled in at 8:45 and jumped in line, but I don't know how.
Right.
I don't know how strict they get about those things. So this is what it says. You get there at 9 a.m. to start walking in at. Get there at 7 to start walking in at 9. The whole thing doesn't start until actually 10. So now you're right. There's no shade. There's no it's baseball. You're sun beating down with the heat radiating off the turf, like the grass,
and you're in a robe, a polyester robe.
And you're in a robe
and a hat.
A polyester robe and a hat. And you can't probably bring water or snacks so it's 7 and then 9 and then 10. And then the whole thing is probably 3 hours long in the sun baking. And you get your little picture. Now, you could get your little garb on and go in front of the sign of the school and take a picture. But she opted not to do it. And I fully supported her and was
You're like,
thrilled
I'm
to
fine. That means
not
I don't have
have
to go.
yeah, you don't have to. Like, I will pay the school an extra $200 to not do it. Zach did his, and I was hoping it was going to be shorter, but it was not. It was 3 hours
Oh
long, but
God.
like,
It's
at
all
least there was
day.
shade. It's all day.
It's
At
all
least there was
day.
shade.
Yeah.
And as people were like getting announced, his major was like the last one, so he was like it was way at the end,
Mm-hmm.
and like by the time they announce his name, like right, they're already yeah, it's a lot.
Right.
So families, I get you're excited, but if your student opts not to and doesn't really want to, support them. Don't pressure them to go do it
Yeah.
because you want. It's a
Well,
lot of nonsense you can hold your little sign that says, it's not even the diploma that's in the thing. They
yeah.
mail it to you. You
Yeah.
don't get it in time.
It's just a blank thing. So
Yeah.
I on that note, I saw something that said somebody was saying, I'm not going, I don't want to do it. It's a hassle, whatever. Well, it's not about you. It's for those who got you there.
Have a party.
Okay. That's kind of like
It's not.
the funeral's not for you. It's for the people you left behind. Okay. Super.
You're dead.
Super. So that's a trend now. The commencement gap. It's students skipping the ceremony because it's a hassle. It's inconvenient. There's a cost involved. Sometimes they feel disconnected. They're just kind of like, what? What does it matter? What does it really matter? Yeah.
And I get like if you've got a really cool guest speaker, but also maybe again, there's probably a taping of it, YouTube live streams.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. It's too formal of an event. It needs to be more like a party. Like there should be a DJ. There should be, like
Yeah, I
someone
think at our
handing out
graduation,
snacks.
there were 4 or 5 of the guys that I've known since kindergarten that were all kind of sitting in the same general area, and they had brought a deck of cards and they were playing poker.
I was trying to figure out. So this was our high school graduation.
John DeLeva
Yes.
would bring it. He's the one that
You
brought
guys
the cards.
were right behind, like 2 rows behind me, because we were in alphabetical
Yeah,
order. So
alphabetical order.
I
yeah.
remember Kim. I can't remember her last name. Kim something. I turn around. You guys are a couple rows back playing cards. Kim's behind me with full-on Walkman on under her
Yeah.
cap, just like sitting there like, oh,
Yeah.
what are you listening
rocking
to?
out, grooving.
She's just like
Grooving to a nice cassette.
a cassette. And I just had to laugh. I was like, all right, well, we were
None of us were paying attention.
None of us were paying attention. Now, is this true or was this a rumor that one of the girls that had to leave because she got pregnant,
It was not a rumor.
they allowed her
I
to
was
come
right
back?
there.
Okay, I
Uh-huh.
thought you were. They allowed her to come
Uh-huh.
back and walk with our class for graduation, and she was very pregnant at the time.
Extremely pregnant.
And a teacher stopped her and said, "What?
You can't come in with that beach ball. Take it out.
Because
not a
it was
beach
a big
ball.
deal to sneak a beach ball
It was a
in
big deal,
and,
right, sneak a
hit
beach
a
ball in,
balloon or
yeah.
a beach ball around during the ceremony."
Like you think that's like
She didn't get the memo, apparently.
she didn't. What did we have? A total of 9 pregnancies in
I
our
think
class?
that the teachers would kind of all know, hey, did you hear
We all-
so-and-so that got pregnant
So-
and left during the years coming back? This
coming
was
back,
a Catholic school,
yeah.
a Catholic school.
It might have been like a volunteer, right? Like, because everybody comes in, so maybe it's a new teacher or a volunteer or an aide or an
Right.
office person who doesn't know the whole. Like, it's possible, but still, like if you're gonna sneak a beach ball in, it's certainly not gonna be like blown up and
Right
under
there.
your gown.
Yeah.
I mean, we weren't like super smart, and we didn't but I feel like we would have been able to at least bring a deflated ball and blow it up.
Right.
Like we would at least have that going for us.
Yeah, we're not like that blatantly,
Jennifer something or other, I think. I don't
remember who it was, and we're not going to
Yeah.
say if we did. But yeah, there was
I
about
don't-
15 Jennifers in our class. But yeah.
At least. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like I said, you get a nice speaker. I don't even remember who was.
I don't remember who ours was.
My college. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I know my brother's graduation. They did depending on what school you were in. they decorated their caps. So like the theater department had
Yeah.
all these like,
Not allowed to do,
fancy
yeah.
things. And then the math department had like, like the symbol
Yeah.
for pi or like
Fun.
equations or
Sure.
fun stuff. They did fun stuff like that. So, but I guess
Yeah, they don't.
schools don't allow
There's
that
a
anymore.
some schools do, some schools don't. Most of the schools around here don't. But I feel like you should, again, right? They're probably trying to make sure that there isn't, somebody drawing a penis on the thing or
Right.
doing something,
Mm-hmm.
middle fingers or whatever. But like, give them the option. You
Yeah.
can do it for whatever school you've signed for, or
Right.
you can do it for your favorite. Like, give them some guidelines and know that there's going to be some that are going to try and do. But
Mm-hmm.
can we stop with making it so unfun and so absolutely
That's why no one wants to go. Nobody
make it
wants
a
to
little
go.
more fun.
Yeah.
Let the band play a nice little tune.
Yeah. Exactly.
Get more comedians doing the speeches.
That'd be awesome. Like some
Make
fireworks.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe some quiz shows or something. I don't know. Make it fun.
Now,
Make
one
it
of the
fun.
best graduations that I've been to was the Lee Vining High School graduation, which is not far from where we used to live by Mammoth. And it's a small school. So literally, I went to a graduation for a friend's child who was graduating. Your high school class is maybe 10 kids, maybe.
Have a party.
So the graduation is, a couple of the teachers give speeches, like the principal or whoever. And then each graduate is sitting there on the stage, and every single one of them gets a full, 10-minute production, basically, that their families put together.
Oh, man, that's a lot.
And it's really sweet, though. It's really sweet. They're all crying. The families are crying. And they can do that because there's only 8 kids up there.
Yeah.
But every family does a really sweet thing with baby pictures, and it's, they're narrating it. It's their voice talking to their child who's graduating. It's really sweet. So I get it. You can't do that at all schools, but
with 700.
But I mean, it really kind of makes it personal and meaningful. Especially for, the families, like some of these families, they're all from like Mexico. So they didn't go to a high school, They probably didn't go past like the 8th grade, some of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of high schools here have it at the high school on the turf, and then there's a whole set of rules about what kind of shoes you can wear on the turf because the heels are plunking holes in them. And man, if you get a day in June that happens to be a little warmer than normal, and you are sitting on the turf,
your chairs,
they're all at like 1, 2, 3. Oh, it is, just the smell of the turf radiating, and you can see the gas wave of heat coming up from a little blurred.
They always use those, either the metal folding chairs or like the wooden folding chairs.
The plastic,
and they start
sweating,
sinking into the grass. One side.
And your
and
legs are sticking.
And they just cram you in there.
Yep. Yeah, the candy or the money lays are a big deal around here. We do a lot of those.
Yeah. Those are
Careful
nice.
of those in the sun.
Yeah,
Oof.
No kidding. Yeah, that's the thing is you're in the freaking sun. You're not inside in the auditorium. You're outside.
No.
Where was ours? Ours was in the...
Ours was on the field.
On the field, yeah, on the football field.
On the field.
Just thinking.
I don't think we had turf, though. I think we had grass.
We had grass, and I think they kept it so that... No, we couldn't have all been sitting on the track. We're all on the grass.
No, we were all on, and I think we were all like on one side, like 2 rows of like 4 or something, and then but I think we were like facing the end zone, but all the parents were sitting on the like we weren't. We were like. I think
it was so the stage was facing the stands, and we were on both sides facing the stage.
Oh
yeah. So we were sitting sideways towards, I don't know, where our parents would be. I think.
All I remember is we're playing cards. Playing cards. Something to do.
Oh,
Go
that
fish.
Was so funny. One last thing about graduations. Now, I was in a position where I hired and fired people, And really, what a degree tells me or would tell me is you finished something, you completed something.
Sure.
So it might not be in whatever you studied. It doesn't even matter. You went to college, you got a degree, you finished something.
Yeah.
That's really most of
You
what
were able to, right.
that
You
tells
were
me.
able to plan and coordinate and you check certain things off in order to stay on a path to finish a task.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Nobody in the history of the world ever said, I will not hire you because you have a degree. But plenty of places will say, I will not hire you if you don't have one. I don't know who
Right.
told me that once, but I'm like,
Right.
that is a good. Also, college is
Exactly.
super fun. You should all go.
Well, and there's plenty of people that have been very successful out there that never went to college, you know? That's
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
That's great.
You still could be, but
Mhm.
you know,
Give it a
do it or
whirl,
don't.
you know?
Give it a whirl.
And junior
all right.
college is, just as good as a big fancy university. So save yourself some bucks.
Yeah.
That's
Real.
all I got on high school
That's all I got.
graduation.
So, in this
What
theme,
you talking about,
I would
Willis?
like to bring back a favorite, and I use it a little bit, but I'm going to start using it more, and I'm going to just lean hard into the word shindig. All of these things are just, they're shindigs. Let's have a
Shindigs,
shindig.
soiree.
Shindig, soiree, shindig. I love the word shindig. It's right up there with shenanigans.
Yep. There was a
Shindig.
party supply company I used to order stuff from for Halloween called Shindigs with a Z. Shindigs. They had it was like an Oriental Trading Company type of situation. Yeah. Shindig, soiree.
Shindig.
Happening.
A hee-haw.
Hee-haw.
A blowout, a bash, a gala.
All
back in the 50s, a sock hop.
A sock hop.
Sock hop.
A tea party. We're going to spill the tea at the tea party.
Tea party.
Yeah.
Shindig's the best one, though.
I do like
it's fun
shindig.
to say.
It's very like, it's of, I don't know what era it's from officially, but to me it sounds like it's from like, this late 60s, mid to late 60s, like that Batman, awful Batman show episode. Shazam, shindig. We're going to a shindig, like a groovy shindig with shag carpeting and
right.
And some
it's groovy. Super groovy.
Some fun accessories. Okay. My What You Talking About, Willis, is so there is a theme with graduations that I came upon, and it's called 1 Degree Hotter. You're 1 degree hotter. Okay. Well, I was hot before, but I'm 1 degree hotter.
God. You think I'm hot?
Kind of dorky, but cute. They have a lot of like decorations and things with that theme.
1 degree hotter. Got it.
1 degree hotter. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And I do like to see, when you're driving through someone's neighborhood and they have a little sign that says, my son, my daughter is a graduate, blah, blah, blah. Parents, that's a big deal for parents.
It is.
So
yeah, because they feel like they've contributed to get you through. Now, the only thing I will say about the signs is if you have tiny humans that are in, say, kindergarten, I probably wouldn't put their name and their name of the school and put it out front. Like, you can say happy that but let's keep the names out because
that leads me to, I do not believe in kindergarten graduations or anything until the 8th grade. It's 8th grade, it's high school, it's college. Nothing below that. We don't need to have kindergarten graduations with kids in little tiny caps and gowns. No.
The conversation I had with a human being about this time last year, where this person tried to tell me repeatedly that her child graduated kindergarten. And I said, that's not real. She says, no, she graduated kindergarten. I said, that's not real.
No. You don't
I'm glad
graduate
that the school,
kindergarten.
I'm glad that the preschool she attended gave her a certificate that said she completed that particular thing at that year. But kindergarten graduation is not real, nor is it highly recognized as a real thing in public education. And so you can't use that as an excuse to put your kid in first grade. Your kid's going to kindergarten. If she's so smart when she's in fourth grade, she'll skip fifth grade.
Yeah. How about that? How
I
about that?
promise you. How about that? Just let her know.
The very first time I saw that, I think was on a TV show or something. And I was just like, what the hell is this? This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
It's fun to have a little celebration for the kids that they've made it through because they're going from the little yard to the big yard. And, you know, you want to keep them excited about going to school and all, but it's ceremonial.
But don't drag them through a graduation ceremony any sooner than they have to.
Give them a little sign, have a little party, have some pizza or cupcakes.
Yep.
Be good. Yep.
I'm all for that. I'm all for a party. A ceremony.
All for a party.
A ceremony.
All for a shindig.
Not so much.
Shindigs.
A shindig. Yep. Love a shindig.
More shindigs, please.
More shindigs, shenanigans, soirees.
Yes.
Sock hops.
You can keep your gala. I don't want a gala.
I like
Take
a gala.
bash or a blowout. I'd rather have a shindig.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
That's all I got for today. So everybody, you know, stay in school, kids.
Enjoy your shindigs.
And enjoy your shindigs. And everybody stay safe. We don't want anyone, you know.
Don't over shindig.
Don't.
Just the right amount of shindigging. Oh.
Perfect.
All right.
All right.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace out.